I've drilled two mounting holes in the pot holder, and I'm going to place it inside the case flush to this end. And I'm going to check to see if the slot is about in the middle of the hole on the top, and it is. So now I'm going to screw the pot holder to the case to secure it to the case. Now that I've secured the pot holder to the case, I'm going to take the pot and put the pinion gear on the pot, and then using two mounting nuts I'm going to secure it to the pot holder. Now I've also attached the rack to the rack L bracket with a number 440 screw and some nuts. I'm temporarily going to attach that to the top so I can figure out where to drill the holes. Now I'm going to take the rack, I'm going to put it into the slot until it engages the pinion. I'm going to tighten this temporarily so it doesn't move, and make sure that this moves fairly smoothly. And once it does, I'm going to put a piece of masking tape on the L bracket, and then again make sure this moves pretty smoothly. I'm going to take the hinge pin out so that I can access this, and now I'm going to drill two mounting holes Here's one, and here's two. Now the bracket is secured to the pedal. Now I'm going to put the rack in its position and then put the hinge pin back in and make sure everything moves like it's supposed to, and it does. I'm going to adjust the pinion so that it's centered in the rack, and then take this back all off and then secure the pinion to the pot with some hot melt glue. After I put a little dab of hot glue on the pinion gear and the volume control shaft, I took it out and completed applying the hot glue so that it would make a permanent bond to the shaft. I also put some hot glue on the end of the 440 screw so that it captures the nut. Now we're going to put this all back together. We'll make sure the shaft is turned all the way clockwise, and then we'll tighten up the mounting nut and make sure everything moves nicely. We might want to restrict the travel of the pedal, and if we want to do that, we can put a little bumper here to make sure it doesn't go too high and have the rack come off the pinion. I'll take the bottom, put it on, and now you see while we have the hole in the bottom, it allows the rack to come through. Now since the rack comes through, we're going to have to put some feet on the bottom to make sure that the rack doesn't hit the floor. I've made a final adjustment on the position of the volume pot so that it isn't too tight against the rack but not too loose. That way you get nice, easy movement. And I've also positioned the mounting lugs so that I can get in there and solder some wires to. To make a bumper, I just took one of the mounting screws for the hinge and screwed it in on the back. With the bumper in place, we get maximum travel of the rack and therefore maximum rotation of the volume pot without the rack disengaging from the pinion gear. After you've installed the jacks in their holes on the sides of the case, wire everything together using this diagram as a guide. And when you're done, the unit will look like this, with the green wire being the ground, the red wire being the input, and the white wire being the output. And after a paint job, here's the completed unit. As you can see, I've printed out some decals and put them on the front. On the top, I have a non-skid surface, which is just a piece of sandpaper that I've painted black and glued on with some spray adhesive. Same spray adhesive I used on those decals in the front, which also let me know which is the in and out jack. On the bottom, I've added 4 feet, and the unit is complete and ready to go. If you'd like a full-size rack and pinion template and the decals in PDF format, or you'd like to know more about how to turn this pedal into a wah-wah pedal, or you just have questions about how to build and use the item, drop me a line at this address.